What's up, MPX addicts, and welcome to the MPX Rehab. I'm your host, the hashtag certified Mark J. Williams, here with my co-host, as always. It's a little early, yes.
You're used to that, I know. The voice of MPX, Kyleson. You knew it was coming. Surely you knew what I was setting up for. I just needed you to say it so I could do it.
And they say I'm the jackass. Okay.
You are. That's what JA stands for. Everyone asks, and I was like, "Yeah, it's jackass."
Because Jamie said it, it must be true,
yep.
Right? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Exactly.
But last week was MPX's War Zone, and we saw a lot of upsets.
Weren't there other things we were doing before?
Well, yeah, we're all...
Oh, okay.
All of that. Yeah.
Okay.
We have a lot to talk about,
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen. We got 3 shows this weekend. Three, and we're going to be at least at 2 of them. So let's go ahead and get Warzone out of the way real quick, because that's the one we were at.
Yeah.
This week. MPX Warzone was actually really, really good. The pre-show match, Gabe Wilder versus Aaron Eagle, was honestly, it kind of puts it at, it was like that was almost a rubber match in a way.
Yeah, kind of in a way. It was obviously worked solid as it would have been.
Yeah.
The attic crowd was a little weird. Like they didn't seem themselves. It was kind of quiet the whole night.
But yeah,
it was really weird, and I guess I should have known from this match, because like this match is really good. Why are people not really into it that much? Like it just seemed very quiet.
Yeah.
Solid match. Love, like I said last time, the Children of Scorn. I love everything new they're doing. It's good, and we're seeing at MPX, we're seeing a face Gabe. We didn't really see that before.
Yeah.
Like we saw maybe 5 minutes of it total.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like we saw a little bit of it in the very beginning of the boys' career. Still the boys. And then, of course, Gabe turned on Tommy, and then there was that whole kerfuffle, and then Tommy turned, and then they teamed back up again, and everything just went, wrestling's weird, ladies and gents. If you didn't already know that, that should tell you. I mean, if you're trying to keep up with continuity, and that's something my brain just latches on to.
Can't do that in wrestling, sir.
I know, right?
Yeah, you can't do that, and you also can't bring logic in the wrestling. Yeah. It just doesn't work. Like I said, the match was very solid. It is not necessarily a surprising outcome. I think, given storylines and where you think it's going and what's going to happen, Eagle picking up the win makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it does and it doesn't at the same time. I mean, and I'm just going by, I'm not saying this Eagle winning was wrong or anything dumb like that. I'm just saying it's like that whole time just after Infinite Stock had just won the tag belts, and then Red loses right after.
Yeah.
This is, it's like there's that whole story flags for a lot of things that you tend to see in pro wrestling. It's like, okay, so they were on the losing streak. The boys were on the losing streak. They get dumped by Richard. They change over. They go face. They become the Children of Scorn.
Dump's kind of the wrong word. That's like a relationship. This was disowning. He no longer has them as children.
But I'm talking like dumped on the side of the road.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Sack full of puppies kind of thing.
They are lost little puppies, aren't they?
But doing the Children of Scorn thing, having that big comeback win against the Birds of Prey. I'm sorry, Bolton and Eagle.
Yeah, that name's not getting over. Sorry.
No, it was totally over. It's just the team's not happening.
Well, yeah.
But it was just... It was kind of a little bit... not frustrating, but just kind of like, okay, that's not what I was expecting. Which, like I said, that's not bad.
No, it wasn't, because it was, like I said, the match itself was very, very solid. You've got 2 guys. Gabe, obviously, younger compared to Eagle in careers. And Gabe, people are probably sick of me saying it, is so good and so talented.
Yeah.
And you put him in there with anyone, and the match is normally solid. But you put him in there with someone of the talent of Eagle, where they can play off each other character-wise as well, because you saw Eagle do it from the start of the match with his pose and just the cocky attitude that he has, and then get in the ring, and it was solid. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, the outcome didn't surprise me that much, given where it looks like they're going and ideas and stuff like that you can kind of see here and there. Spoiler for next week. Prince has a hurt opponent, so it's probably a little bit of the same thing. Plus, you've got you never anger Richard. This is something I'm realized a lot of MPX wrestlers haven't learned yet.
Well, I mean, we've kind of learned it with Legacy as well. You just don't take off the booker.
No,
just never take off the booker.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't ever anger management. But yeah, like I said, match was good, solid. Hopefully we get a rematch down the road. Hopefully maybe Eagle picks up another partner. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Then we got the start of the actual show, in which the first match was the Miracle Maker Tommy Dean versus the True Hero Casey Clay.
Round 6.
Once again, yeah, for real. And once again, in a fantastic matchup. These two, like, we keep talking about these fight forever teams.
Oh, yeah. And these can.
Yeah.
And it's something that is different from all their other matches, is they're both kind of face. Like, they both have the crowd support. They both have different personas and characters than that they've been. So that was really intriguing and interesting that you saw such respect from both of them, which, okay, we probably always knew it was there just because of how good their matches are, but to actually see it played out in the ring with the respect and everything like that, that was really good element to just elevate their story, that literally they can't fight forever because everything they do is so entertaining. And most of the time when you get matches and rivalries that just repeat on top of each other, you see some of the same things over and over. We don't necessarily really see that every time Casey and Tommy are out there. Now, okay, there may be some things that they keep from certain matches continuing, but more times than not, it's always different. And that is, one, super hard to do. Yeah. Because, in wrestling logic, it's, well, this worked, let's keep doing it. And these guys go out here and they constantly change it up, and it's amazing. And again, you've got two amazing athletes, two, I would say right now, probably top 8 fan favorites at MPX.
Yeah.
Going at it. The crowd was into this one. It just, again, the crowd seemed off to me for some reason.
Yeah.
It doesn't
help that.
There was some annoying drunk fans, that were new. I don't think I've ever seen them before.
I kept wanting someone to look at the one guy who had the world championship belt and say, you realize it's one of the rules here. You have to defend that.
Yep. That one I don't fault too much because I think he was a kid.
Yeah,
looked like it.
I know.
It was the people behind him that, that bothered me, especially during the Canadian Dragon match, but we'll talk about that later. But yes, so now we need round 7. This is best of 7. We need the finish.
Either that or,
because they're 3-3.
They just need to pull the trigger and give us the All the Moonsaults tag team. Yeah,
that works too. It's I don't know. Casey's not really XV material though.
It doesn't have to be XV. I mean, when Tommy's XV Tommy, then we got that. Yeah, but there are also times in which he's all the moonsaults Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's got other partners.
Yeah.
Casey got rid of all his partners except for legs. Apparently, him and legs. But yeah. Oh, yes. For Casey shaving.
Casey shaving.
Yeah. It's weird what fans gravitate towards sometimes. It's like when Nick shaved.
Who the hell is that?
Yeah, it's always just very weird. But match was amazing. Probably, I dare say, match of the night. I don't. For me, it's really hard because I really did love.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the Dragon and Exodus match.
Shimbashi and Exodus, yes.
But yeah, this match solid. We need a best of 7 finale, and it's got to be something big like a ladder match for #1 contendership at the world or the MPX title or something. Like I feel they really could build to something with this whole they're 3-3 type thing. So who knows? Hopefully they do.
That would be interesting. But then, Tommy Dean picking up that win. Of course, then after that, we had the Jason Silver versus Phil Shark match. And Phil is on a feeding frenzy.
Yeah, and this is another. And again, I guess it wasn't the crowd. It was also, if you look at the matchups, face versus face, face versus face. Mm-hmm. Technically heel versus heel, but seemed a tweener with X. Like, it just, there was a lot of abnormality for MPX. Yeah. MPX is usually, not always, but is usually very strict on face versus heel.
Yeah.
So having all these kind of back to back to back to back was a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys played it off good. Like, you had the high respect in the Casey and Tommy match. You had Silver kind of going back a little bit to his true self and his heel dickish ways. Like,
in other words, he was Jason.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all there is to it. He was Jason.
Exactly. And it was a very good, entertaining match, because I think they realized, well, yes, this is Silver's area. Silver is loved. Mm-hmm. The front row girls are not going to let Shark not be hurt. Like, they absolutely adore Phil Shark.
And the thing is, people just generally liked Phil Shark too.
Yeah,
I mean,
and he's not bad.
It just constantly makes me think of the whole thing of, when the first time we saw him, he was a heel at Texoma, and I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, I guess he's okay. And then he comes to MPX and he does the face thing, and people are into it. I'm just like, okay, this works a whole lot better.
Yeah, it worked a whole lot better.
Such a baby face.
Yeah, and like I said, the match itself was good. It was solid, and there's things here and there, obviously. But yeah, it did shock me a little bit at first, but then when you rethink about it, you're like, okay, he's on a little win streak. Mm-hmm. Silver taking a loss doesn't necessarily kill him, so
yeah, it's the whole thing of, it's like, a lot of this isn't making a whole lot of sense to me, but I'm going to go with the ride and see where this all goes.
Yeah, and so and like I said, the match was solid. I mean, it's it served its purpose.
Yeah, and then we had the match that is the one where I'm for a bit I was sitting there going, but this makes almost no sense to me.
Yeah.
And it's not the matchup itself, because the matchup itself was fantastic. It's how it was built, because we had the Canadian Dragon Shimbashi taking on Exodus Prime. Shimbashi comes out and he is just playing heel.
Lord Exodus Prime. Jesus.
I don't know. Don't lords usually have gold?
That's called false idol, sir. Know your religion.
Exodus doesn't care about that. But it's like, but Shimbashi comes out and he's playing full heel. He's insulting the locker room. He's insulting the crowd. He's insulting. It's like very, very reminiscent of Aaron Eagles, to be really honest. And then Exodus Prime comes out, gets in his face, and then they have a match. And again, the crowd is behind Exodus Prime. I'm like, okay, if they're not careful, they're going to turn Exodus face.
Well, no, and that's the thing I thought was great, though, is Exodus was facing the fact that he fired up more. That's really it. When the match started, when the match ended, he still did not give a fuck about the addicts, and I loved it, because I was like, that is your true kind of tweener. That is your true Stone Cold Steve Austin. He'll go out there and he'll beat people up in the ring, and he'll do fire-ups if he has to, because he's the face or whatever. But then when it comes to crowd, they don't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. Like, he doesn't care. Like that, and same with like when Orton was a good tweener in those days. That is what we have with Exodus right now. Exodus is there only for himself to get that belt back. Now, if that means, being a little more exciting in the ring and it's fun, fine. But in the end, he does not care about the addicts still. Yeah. He doesn't care if they cheer or whatever. I mean, he didn't, if you really, really rewatch that match, he doesn't even really play into them when they're cheering.
No, and that's true. But I'm just talking about the fact that it's like they're putting him up against people who are very obviously heels.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like the him versus JD bit. Mm-hmm. And, it's like, yeah, he ditched Palmer at the end and everything like that, but I don't know that was enough to, then follow that up a few weeks later with, him going up against somebody insulting the fans.
I wouldn't even necessarily insult the fans. He insulted Exodus because he kept saying former champion, former champion, former champion.
Yeah.
And then when Exodus told him...
Why'd he come out in the first place?
Because he's the only former champion in the back, technically. He's the only former champion that has the fortitude to stand up for his name.
Where was Sky?
Sky was busy. But no, that's, I think we as fans kind of read into things a little bit too much like that, where it's like, oh, why he's turning. I don't see it as a turn. I see it as Exodus standing up for himself and proving that he still has it and he wants the MPX title back.
But even then, that puts him as the underdog and everything.
Is it an underdog when you're really that good? Even though, okay, yeah, Tatum beat you, but you're still dominating and winning your matches to get that belt back. I don't necessarily think whenever Cena lost the belt and Cena went up against it again, was he really an underdog? I think the chase is good. And like I said, I'm curious where we go with it because it could go either way. Maybe he does kind of turn face or whatever. I don't see it. I see him being that tweener that is there for himself. And depending on the match and the opponent, okay, he might fire up a little more than normal, but I don't see it as a complete turn.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Like
but
I said,
this I think was match of the night.
Yeah, no, this match was
amazing. I wish we could get Shimbashi again because he is so good.
He really is.
He was amazing. And I loved, of course, Canadian Dragon. Immediately loved that. Anything Dragon because of Danielson. I just love it. But yeah, the match was so good, and I feel when you bring in people, especially with the Addicts and that crowd, when you bring in people they don't know, they essentially almost have to be healed because the Addicts, if they don't know them, they don't give a damn.
Yeah.
The Addicts crowd is very hard to please in the fact they have to know you in order to really care about you or your match. We've seen it several times before when people come in, if they have not been seen at other places, mainly by the front row girls because they're the ones who are the loudest.
Yeah.
Like, say they'd never seen Phil Shark before. I don't think Phil Shark gets a reaction. But because they had seen him before and he's here, they're going to give him that reaction. It's one of those where if they don't know you and they've never seen you, they could care less.
I don't know. Maybe we should bring Max Heights back again, see how it goes now.
See, and I don't think they've seen him enough. I wish they would because Max Heights is amazing. And that's something, when you bring him in multiple times, it kind of builds it, but that's kind of the problem too. Is with someone like Shimbashi, he's so busy and he's so booked elsewhere. Yeah, this was a super treat that was kind of, at least from the outskirts of not promoting it, very, very last minute.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And it's more, I guess, fans like me and you that really appreciate it. But not saying that the fans didn't, because the Addicts, after that match, I think they realized, oh, yeah, this was fun, this was good. I wish we could get him again because he was so talented. And I think putting him in there with Exodus, they knew that match was going to be probably the best.
But then after that, we had the MPX Prospect Championship match. Kid Bandit on their fourth defense of the Prospect Championship. Found out there was confusion, but this was legit.
There was no confusion. It's either one, we've made up the stats like Goldberg's undefeated streak, or Pat Patterson Intercontinental Tournament, or people felt that the defenses weren't worth mentioning and didn't mention it. Either way, when they announced, it may be very loud and audible, you heard me say it, but when they announced on his fourth defense, I was like, when the fuck did he defend it 2 other times? It was very loud because it was okay. If he did defend it, just mention it. You don't have to show a clip. I understand they showed the Jack Evans clip. Jack Evans has a name. Fine. If the other two weren't names that you weren't comfortable promoting, fine. But at least say, hey, he defended it here.
Say, it's like if it was the former of they just made up the 2 defenses and everything like that, then okay.
Yeah.
They could have actually just made up names and said, hey, Kid Bandit just got the third or fourth defense, or second or third defense.
Yeah.
But if it's actual names, then, come on, just like even a passing mention here at this show against this opponent in this place.
Just a post. Hey, or not even a name or a place, just go, hey, Kid Bandit defended it a second time. Okay, cool. That's literally all we needed. Just a little thing on the Addicts page or Twitter, something. Because him coming in with the fourth made no sense.
Yeah.
And
fans have to go looking for it.
Takes away a little bit.
Yeah.
At least in my eyes, it took away a little bit because immediately I was already angry, mainly because of the annoying fans. Also because from the last matchup, I was like, okay, hopefully this one's better. It was better. And then I was hoping, then they announced that, and I'm like, why? When? Like, just immediately kind of put a whole damper on that match. So it is a little probably biased for me because I know other people like you have gone at nauseam about how good it was, and it is not that good.
I didn't say it was like the greatest match ever or anything like that.
It is, like I said, it is better than the first match. There are still things about Kid that I don't like, and there are things that I think they need to work on. I understand. I know you said it. It's only a year in. Okay.
Literally a couple
weeks
ago.
So is Jake. So is Red. So is Shambashi.
But that's the thing.
Like we've
been spoiled by these guys who are just so good.
Yeah.
And everything.
I think
that we forget. I mean, hey, do you remember the name Aaron Emerald?
God, no.
Brock Hopper?
No. Who are these people?
Exactly. Not every rookie is going to be the judge. Not every rookie is going to be that guy. Not every rookie is going to be Casey fucking Clay.
I know, but that's when you say that, when you throw out those names, you know what I just think? Kid Bandit's the next in that line.
No.
I feel Kid Bandit is one of those, and
Kid Bandit has something that neither of the other two had.
It's this social media day and age where you can get booked all over the world by just a clip. They got better from the last time I saw them. I just don't think the name value that is going around everywhere deserves it. And that's a fan opinion, and fans are the worst and best thing about wrestling. I understand that. I understand I am in the minority of not really liking kids' matches. I get that. But when you have someone as talented as Dimitri, who I have seen go out against worse talent and had better matches, it leads me to believe that, okay, maybe they weren't as bad as Kid is. Again, the match is better than the first one. Not just because Dimitri won, it was more physical. And comedy's fine. I like comedy wrestling. That's not the issue. It just, the first match, they seemed lost all the time. The strikes were not there. The strikes still are not there. The kicks are amazing. Kids' kicks are good. And the first time Dimitri seemed kind of light with them. Dimitri was not light with them this time.
No. But then again, that rib injury isn't an issue now.
Yeah. So overall, I want every wrestler to succeed. So I would like Kid to get better to the point where I could be like, yeah, I was wrong. Kid is actually good.
Yeah.
At this moment in time, I'm just not a fan.
Yeah. Now, mind you, please remember, we're critics. You know, they always say that those who can't those who can't teach, those who can't teach.
Yeah, and that's why I said I want them to succeed, and I want them to get better, and I want them to do well to where I can say, yeah, I was wrong. Yeah. Because I have the utmost respect for wrestlers because they are doing something that I cannot do and something I wish I could do. Mm-hmm. And again, that's why I say fans, like when I made that, fans are the best and worst thing in wrestling, I was talking about myself because I completely get that.
Oh, I quote you all the time.
Oh, I know. So, but it's, again, just my opinion. There were several people that really enjoyed and loved that match. And that's great. Wrestling is...
That's the other thing that, you know, a lot of people don't realize that we need to take into account, you and I specifically, is we'll sit there and go, it's like, well, this was good, this was bad, this was good, this was bad, this was good, this was bad. Average fans, unless we tell them, a lot of times they don't notice, they don't care. And that's, there's nothing wrong with that.
And I wish I could go back to that way of watching wrestling because it is more fun when you're not noticing little things like that or not caring. When you have that kid-like innocence of, no pun intended with Kid Bandit, but when you have that kid-like innocence of when you're 5 or 6 watching Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and thinking they're the greatest thing ever, and then growing up and rewatching the stuff and going, oh, they weren't that good. Except Hogan in Japan. Hogan in Japan was amazing. For some reason, that was good.
It's like the whole thing of everybody complaining about the 5 moves of Fury, not realizing John Cena was an amazing wrestler.
Yeah.
It's just because he was a showman and top card.
It was same as Hogan. He knew what to do.
Yeah, it's like he had to give the safe.
Yeah.
Set.
And again, it's also wrestling, it's that quote from Ricochet years ago, wrestling is art. There's so many different styles, so many different wrestlers and things like that it truly is, wrestling is for everyone. It really is. Like I said, so for me, the match is better than the first one. Still not a fan of it. Like I said, I know there are several people, you included, probably like, oh, I want to see Kid back. I can take it or leave it. I'm not that excited anymore.
Okay, my thing is, I'd love to see Kid back. I really would. I'd love to see Kid back in a match that has nothing to do with any gold.
Yeah, I could definitely get behind that one.
Yeah, that's like give us, like the same thing as when we had Athena and Abaddon. Abaddon's not going for any belts.
Seeing there's one that's completely opposite. I did not like Abaddon. After seeing her live, she's not bad. So I mean, there are opposites from just seeing clips. And Abaddon, I've seen I've seen full match
according to people.
Only according to Livy, and that's because of many years ago, because of a show where I tried to be a dick.
It was almost like it was a character.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that's the thing. Like I was talking about earlier, like it's kind of this day and age of social media. You can get booked off clips. Most people know my dislike for Chris Carter. It's the same thing. To me, he was getting booked off, he jumped off something high, let's book him. And there are some that you get a clip and then I actually see him live and I like him. Ninja Mac. I just saw clips, wasn't a huge fan. Saw him live, Ninja Mac is good. Case in point, he's now the GHC Junior Heavyweight Champion in Japan right now. So it's differences. It was the opposite. I was excited to see Kid because of the clips. Saw it, didn't like it, hope it got better. And it got better, just not enough for me to be like a fan, like, oh, I hope we get him back. Right at this point, if he comes, cool. If not, I don't care.
But then we also had the Tag Team Championship #1 contenders match, a ladder match.
This was amazing.
Oh, my God. This was a great match.
And they did the one thing I thought I would never see again, and it was the Joey Mercury spot, and I'm so glad Jake got his hands up.
Oh, yeah.
Because I did not want to see that live and right in my face. So I'm glad his nose and everything is intact.
Pure and simple. We've said it before a couple of times. These two tag teams,
they're great.
They're fantastic together.
The chemistry is there with these four, and it would be one of those where they're both good tag teams on their own. They really are. We have seen Purple Haze in some matches where we're like, yeah, something's off. We don't know. We've seen Sons of Mayhem in matches where, yeah, something's off. We don't know. But for some reason, when these four are together, it's magic.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And adding a ladder to it was great. The outcome, like I said last week, I was torn on it because I feel whoever wins this kind of has to win the tag titles. And it would have made more sense.
Yeah, I mean,
it kind of makes more sense for Sons too, but then they can't because they're going. And if people haven't realized it by now, you're just not paying attention enough. There's a split happening and coming.
Yeah.
And it's one of the
split. No.
Oh yeah, never.
Everybody's completely on board with this whole thing. There's no dissension in the ranks whatsoever.
So having Tatum kind of interject himself to cost them, which you'll hear Jake and Nick's side of, well, no, it's Red that cost them because Red chased after Tatum, even though Joe was already working on that. Red probably should have stayed. Yeah.
I mean, Red ran after him first, and then Joe went after him.
Yeah, but Joe was there. Red should have stayed at the match. He left his partner high and dry. He's done that before. He did it to Noah, didn't he? Yeah, see? There's a thing there.
Yeah, but this time it was Jake who took the pin, so it's his fault, obviously, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess, but he shouldn't have. It was a lot more physical than I thought it'd be. Like I said, the Joey Mercury spot shocked the hell out of me. Using the tiny ladder,
yes,
the sound that thing made,
using it like a chair.
That was good. I enjoyed it.
And then, of
we're
course,
we're getting spoiled on ladder matches in MPX because now I kind of want them more and more because they're so good and they're entertaining. Not just because of its violence.
we also saw doors.
It's the fact, and Jake took that door beautifully.
Oh yeah. So now it's going to be DLC.
Oh God.
It's going to be the pre-show match because you have to pay extra for it.
Yeah, it's downloaded. Yeah, all the nerds got you. We know.
I want to throw something at it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. But yeah, it's one of those where the outcome, like I said, it didn't necessarily shock me because either way, I could see it happening. To me, what is shocking is what's going to be next week.
Yeah.
Is because, like I said, to me, going through a hellacious ladder match and with the win streak Purple Haze is on and exciting and the fans are behind them, it's kind of like, oh, we're going to build, and then just go.
Yeah.
Then they're going to go away, and I don't want that. Purple Haze is very talented, and I wish they were closer so we could get them more. But it's one of those, and we'll talk about it next week, but it's like I don't... It's one of those things where, you know, that cliche, you booked yourself in a corner. Because it's like, well, are you going to bury them and we don't see them for a while? Or are they going to pull up the upset and Lost Boys lose the tag titles? You know?
I don't know. I mean, it's like if it goes that way, I won't be too upset.
Like I said, I'm not too... like I said, I wouldn't be too upset, but it's like... Yes, they had the ladder match, and there's a build and a case for them to go for the tag titles. But I wish we wouldn't have done it right away. I wish we had more interaction. Maybe, you know, Stevie versus Silver, or Prince versus Scott. You know, a little interaction between the teams before we just get the tag match. Like I wish we would kind of built the tag title match into something a little bit.
Yeah.
It just seemed very rush. Oh, hey, cool. They just did a ladder match last week. Got their consideration. Nope, I mean, next week they go.
Admittedly, this is entirely up to the booking availability of everybody.
Oh, yeah, no, it is.
But it's like, I do agree. I kind of wish that it's like, at the very least, that the championship match wasn't this week.
Right.
I wish it was next week.
Yep.
But...
Well, definitely can't be the 19th. I know that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Someone's in a Monsters Ball match.
Yeah.
Out of those four, I wonder who's in a Monsters Ball match.
There we go. That's the whole, you know, it's like, it's a availability of booking.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah.
You know, it's like, if I'm pretty sure if that had been available, then we'd be seeing it then maybe.
Maybe. So who knows? The match itself, and we'll talk about it but later, but the match itself is going to be probably pretty solid.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Like I said, the biggest thing out of this is, yes, Purple Haze are the number one contenders, but the biggest thing out of this has to be the dissension with the Sons of Mayhem.
Oh, yeah. And then we had the one where it proved that Pop versus Punk. Unfortunately, Pop is winning.
Backstreet's alive, sir.
Yeah. Mikey B came out and once again just kept...
And Samuelus. And this is when I realized the crowd was off. Because if the crowd would have been what they normally are, there would have been a "Where's a Sammy" chant. Yep. Sammy, and Mikey was even trying to toss it to them.
Yeah.
Mikey was trying to get that because that is what they are going for. And the Addicts just fell flat. So it's like, that disappointed me the most because that is a storyline that
it's been building.
It's been building, and now it's like, well, because again, take it in management's eyes, you see that, and you're like, oh, so they don't care. Cool, we can move past it. And I don't want that.
Neither.
Like I want them to keep doing this.
Yet. I really.
I hope not.
Because it was, you know, it was something that on the after show was being pushed, you know, pretty hard there too. So
yeah.
I was like, I don't think we're past it yet.
I hope not.
I agree with you. I hope not. I want some, even if Matt Locke is not involved due to his own situation. I'm hoping that we do get a I'm trying to find the word. My brain just completely blue screened.
Payoff?
Conclusion? Payoff?
There you go. Okay, one of those. Yeah, and it is something that Sammy's gotten better every time she's out there. Like, it's actually fun and entertaining to watch her out there in the interactions.
Yeah, but the match itself, Mikey B versus Zero, the Pop versus Punk, and this was actually a really good match.
It was. A couple things here and there, obviously. Yeah. Mikey's leg lariat always looks weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it is. But there is something that I guess Mikey watch. One of my favorite leg lariats was D'Lo Brown.
Yeah.
Watch that. Try to imitate it maybe. But his leg lariats, it just looks weird.
I think it's just the fact that he's as tall as he is and kind of lanky.
Maybe. And most people, obviously, they're supposed to hate his gear. I fucking love it.
Oh, I'm glad
it's amazing. But no, this, again, Zero keeps proving every time he's out there. It's weird to say he gets better because he's been good and he's he's a 10-year plus vet. But there's like a fire lit under Zero lately.
Yeah.
Because every match he's gone out there, you're like, holy crap, that was the best one of your career. Holy crap, this one was the best of your career. Like at some point you get tired of saying that because you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Why are we not seeing him more? And then we've heard before, oh, well, because when he goes away and he comes back, listen to the reaction. Yeah, I get that, but there are people who are Silver and Tatum are here all the time. They still get a great reaction,
Yeah. But the match itself was really good. Mikey coming away with a win. Honestly, it's like I'm kind of for this hot streak that he's being, going on.
Yeah, of course. It's the 92-93 Shawn Michaels. It's amazing.
92-93 and Shawn Michaels. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it is.
I was thinking 2017, kind of Alterverse Mike Fox, where it's Max Sterling instead.
Yeah. Okay. I was just talking more of like the attitude and the charisma how he, it's kind of that chicken shit hill. He gets his ass beat, but he does just enough to win. And it's also got the tie-in with having a valet like he did with Sherry and stuff like that. So
well, I don't know. I like it either way.
Oh yeah, no, he's doing amazing. Yeah, and that's a lot of people worried about, me and you included. We're like, how's he do a heel? But then we've seen it, and we're like, there's something there.
Don't forget when he first started, he actually wanted to be the douchebag boy band guy.
Yeah, but people were into it because it's the addicts. Yeah, if they know you, they love you. Mm-hmm. Oh, you train here, you're our guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, they tried with.
It's not even just people who train here.
They tried with Aaron Emerald and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So.
But and then of course the main event, Joe Angelo Garcia, Tatum Manning for the MPX Championship, with of course Joe having the Sons of Mayhem in his corner and Tatum pulling off the Guerrero spot.
That was awesome.
Yes.
That was great, and obviously getting all them kicked out, pretty much making it a singles 1-on-1. Tatum outsmarting them all was great. Joe finally getting his title shot after 2 or 3 years. And again, we're the only ones that remember that because again, your continuity thing.
Yep.
But yeah, the match itself was really good. It's something that I do, at least it seems like we are with the storyline. We're getting Joe and Joe more, which I always enjoy because we get those spurts where it's like he's here for 2 or 3 months, gone for like 8 months, here for 2 months, gone for 6 months. Like it's one of those. I'm just
glad that the most recent hiatuses have not been due to the fact that Joe once again hurt himself.
Right. Yeah. And he looks good. Yeah. Like one thing I've always loved about Joe is just how crisp he is in the ring. Everything is done with a purpose. He's always in the right place. He's got snap to his moves. Like Joe is very, very solid. And
the ego fight between the two. Oh man.
I still think Tatum edges the ego a little bit though.
Just a bit.
Just a little. Like you got Tatum, Exodus, and Schaefer. Those are probably the 3 biggest egos at MPX.
Wow. Yeah. It's like, well, okay, then there's the guy who's, convinced he's going to kill MPX and everything. So I think ego's pretty whole.
There's a lot of people that want to kill MPX. Who are you talking about?
JD.
Oh, yeah, JD. Yeah. I think he's overkill. I think he's overkilling MPX now. He just wants to be dominant and wants his boys to be dominant. Yeah, or his soldiers.
That's true.
Yeah, he defeated Palmer. I think he's past that.
Maybe. So we'll see. But Tatum Manning coming away with a win on this one, but not because he beat Joe Angelo Garcia, but instead because the Sons of Mayhem
proving a point.
Yeah, very upset over being kicked out.
Being kicked out, and I think they're also upset that Tatum's saying he's a faction killer. Yeah. Because again, Red and Jake both yelled at, what faction has he killed? Yeah, go ahead. What faction?
Menage a Trois? He killed Menage a Trois.
No. Yeah. Menage a Trois kicked him out.
And then he kicked their asses.
No. Yeah. And it didn't kill them. they still are fine. 2 of them are pretty successful right now. And the other one I wish would come back.
They're not Menage a Trois anymore, are they?
Well, no.
So that faction's dead.
Well, could always come back.
Jamie's boys, who came to the rescue and made the win on that one, effectively kicking Jamie out.
Yeah, no, not a faction. Because that was never a true faction. Again, the faction killer's not a thing. It's not a thing. Just because you keep saying it over and over and over doesn't make it a thing.
He does. He's even got a shirt, man. He's hashtagged it, and you've said it yourself. If it's hashtagged, it's got to be true.
Don't use my words against me. Damn it. But yeah, it is super exciting where we're going with it. It was a little weird, and I guess it shouldn't be because it's Tatum, but to have him get beat down that bad and then still grab a mic, that just was like, we could have saved that for the after show or a vignette.
Yeah.
I get there's a story purpose to it, and that's great, but the beat down he took, he shouldn't have been able to like talk, and like they should have been held to the back, and then come on your show and say it, or post something on the annex, in the alley, parking lot, backstage area, something like that.
Yeah, but him saying that this next week he's gonna go, tag team 2-on-2, any 2 of the Sons of Mayhem versus him and a partner of his choosing.
There are 2. Are we going to talk about it now, or are we saving it?
Well, we could talk about it. I mean, it's like we've talked about last week's show. We can talk about next week's show.
Essentially, there are 2 names that I really, really want that probably are not going to happen, and then there are the likely names. Number 1 is Dave Sagan. Mainly because I missed that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I want to see him again.
Yeah.
And the other one, because I think it would be a good story, and I teased it last week, if he could resurrect Stephen Kirby, I think that would be a cool partner. And there's also a back history with him being trained by Kirby, and now Kirby trying to kill his own creation, the Sons of Mayhem. That's cool. The other thing, obviously, the more likely case scenarios, a member of the Chili Boys, which CJ's still a Chili Boy, right? So CJ would be my number 1.
Yeah.
Then Corey. Then Dylan.
From everything I've heard, I don't think we're getting
Mason, the White Claw Can, the Penguin, and then at the very, very bottom, I guess Derek Clausen, because fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate Derek Clausen so much. But those are probably more likely, is some Chili Boy. So, which still be fine. Be good, as long as it's not Derek Clausen. I actually wouldn't mind seeing the Penguin. Who knows what he does?
Yeah.
I think his name's Chili. But yeah.
Chili the Penguin? Did he lose the, advertising dollars for the ice?
Yes, he sure did.
Damn.
Because that was a 70s thing, and no one knows what you're talking about right now. But yeah, like I said, to me, I really, 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 really want Dave, and that is just complete personal biasness.
I can't imagine anybody who would, have that kind of bias. Not on this show.
Right. Yeah, no, never. And then, like I said, I think because it'd be cool stories if they resurrect Kirby. So,
yeah. But yeah, that on its own, that's going to be pretty interesting.
They announced the 2 sons, the soldiers that are going.
Right, yeah, it's going to be Red and
Joe and Red. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. They've never really seen, so we'll see.
No,
I mean,
I think this is going to be the make or break situation for the 2 of them, because it's like
possible.
We already know how well Red and Jake work together. I mean, now you've got the former leader and the new leader of the Sons of Mayhem.
No, co-leaders. They're co-leaders.
That's not what JD said.
That's what Red said, though.
Yeah, but it's not what JD said.
Well, yeah, he does like his trusted friend.
But that'll be really interesting to see where that goes, how that ends, everything like that. Let's see. As Kirby would, Bug says Kirby would make her cry. I've already met people.
Probably.
When I said, the guy who trained, it's like Stephen Kirby. He was just so awesome. Who?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kirby would make me cry, mainly because he would slap the shit out of me for saying he's dead. So I would cry for that. Sagan would probably make me cry if he's not there or if he's there. Because one, I'm going to be super happy, or two, I'm going to be super disappointed.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm trying to lower my expectations and just be like, yeah, it's a chili boy. Which, again, is good.
I don't
want to lower expectations.
I don't think it's going to be a chili boy because certain people in management don't want to acknowledge that exists.
And I agree, they shouldn't. But when you look at Tatum's history, there's not many to pick from.
True. That's true. I don't know. It could be Noah.
Hornswoggle?
Yeah.
There we go. That's my new number one now. I want Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Him and Dave are essentially the same person, so. What? They are. They're same size.
Okay.
I still remember when Tatum got mad at me for that.
The pre-show match is going to be the return of the Angel of Death, Jim Butcher, taking on Mr. Legs. And after the video we saw this last week about it, I'm looking forward to this.
R.I.P. Randy. Finally, Randy is going away.
Oh,
Randy needs to be repented for whatever for his sins.
He's going to take out Lenny too. And Legs.
Lenny's okay.
We're gonna get a triple murder.
Lenny's actually probably going to be safe.
Maybe.
Lenny is a saint. Lenny will be saved. He follows the Butcher's righteous path. Now, Legs and Randy, on the other hand, yeah, Legs is a little iffy. Sometimes he does good, sometimes he does bad. Randy's just pure evil.
But let's not forget, Mr. Legs is essentially a superhero. He's beaten Sky de Lacrimosa.
That is true.
You know, he's beaten his fair share of monsters.
Butcher is a little different.
A little bit.
This is going to be a very fun match.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to hopefully continue this monster ass heel that I hope we're getting more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's, R.I.P. finally. The pure evilness of Randy will be vanquished from MPX. Randy is evil.
He's not evil.
He is.
But then we've also got the MPX Prospect Championship. The verified Dmitry Alexandrov will be making his first defense against the other half of our usual Sons of Mayhem team, the Judge, Jake Lindsay.
Yes, that is going to be a really good match. Jake is one of those that, just a year in, and is so good.
Yep.
And gets better every time we see him out there. He's had good opponents, don't get me wrong. This one's probably his toughest test, I would think. Mm-hmm. Being Dimitri, I know he's been in the ring with Barrett, but that was a tag. This is a singles match against Dimitri. This is going to be a true test of how good Jake actually is. Mm-hmm. And I'm super excited for it. Do I think he's going to win? No, I'm sorry. I love you, Jake, but no.
It's going to be his second attempt at a Prospect Championship, too.
Yeah, true.
Because he went up against Red.
Mm-hmm. So
of course, this time you'll actually be going for a real Prospect Championship.
That was a real Prospect Championship. It was. Red still owns and should defend that Prospect Championship. He should cash it in. Yeah, he should cash it in.
Remember?
Yeah, cash that thing in. So yeah, this match is going to be solid. It's going to be very good. If it wasn't, for the surprise tag, probably the thing I'm looking forward to most and probably match of the night would be this.
Yeah. And then we've got the Addicts Championship match as the Miracle Maker Tommy Dean will be going up against Angel Comando.
Man, we are testing that miracle name, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
This is another one that I think, because of the contrast of styles, is going to impress people of how good it actually is. He hasn't shown it a lot at MPX, but Angel's actually agile. Like, Angel can move. Angel can wrestle. Angel can go. He can. Hadn't done it lately, but he can.
Well, it's a little restrictive over at MPX.
Yeah. So I think this one's going to impress a lot of people with Angel. They know how good Tommy is, and people know a little bit of how good Angel is.
Yeah.
So I think this one's going to be very good, very solid. Again, we're testing that Miracle Maker name, and it's one of those where, well, if he doesn't do this, can we keep calling him the Miracle Maker?
Yep. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's like he's had one loss since becoming the Miracle Maker. So.
The miracle he performed was he beat Brick Savage.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And now I'm going to get yelled at because I mentioned his name and we were told not to talk about him.
I know. Compare him.
And I didn't. And exactly. You did. I didn't.
I didn't compare.
No, you have.
I haven't compared him to anybody.
No, not today. Last time.
Yeah, last time.
Oh, that man hates me so much. and
Technically,
it terrifies the hell out of me.
Last time, if we're going to talk about that.
It terrifies the hell out of me that man hates me.
By the way, if you think that the Brick Savage character is just a character...
Again, I'm not talking about it because the man terrifies me.
Yeah.
I have the utmost respect for him, and I love him, and I hope he knows that.
Yeah, it's like that man is scary. But then we've also got the tag team championship match as the Lost Boys will defend against Purple Haze. And this, I'm looking forward to this match.
I am too. It's going to be a really, really good match. It's one of those where we've seen Purple Haze have great matches with Sons of Mayhem. We've seen them have okay matches with others. I feel the Lost Boys is one of those where they will kind of step up. One, because that's a title match, and two, it's the Lost Boys as a team. They don't really have bad tag matches per se. Yeah. They usually go out there and they know, because of the many years they've done it, they know exactly what to do, how to lay a match out. It's going to be a very, very good tag match. Like I said earlier, what do we do with it? Do we have an upset with Purple Haze winning, or do we kind of just kill it?
Said that about Legs and Casey last time.
True. And I think I did. If you rewatch it, I was like, I don't know where we're going. It's kind of torn.
It's like, and if you're going to keep the tag division fresh, which has been my constant complaint over the last few months, yes, I will fully admit that.
Tags cost too much money, sir, remember?
I know. I know. But... So, it's like you've got to bring in, fresh blood to be to make a kind of a joke.
You can't give fresh blood to Jason Silver. That doesn't go well for most.
No, it doesn't. But yeah, it's like it's the whole thing of, it's like, that's what I loved about the last hurrah of Larger Than Life, when they were actual defending tag team champions, not just...
They would not fight anyone they fought before.
Exactly. And that's how we got such great tag teams as Infinite Stock, as the Boys, as, we got to see Los Canales.
Yeah.
We got, it's just all these great teams came in that we just absolutely loved. I think it was a prime time for the tag team division, even if we only got to see those teams once or twice.
Yep.
But that's the kind of thing I like. It's like, even if we're getting, thrown together teams that nominally make sense.
Casey and Legs.
I'm cool with that, but it's just like what I was honestly starting to get a little bored with, to be perfectly honest, was the same two and a half teams, because of course the Best Friends had their own thing going with the breakup. But it's like, you had 2.5 teams.
Yep.
And it wasn't until after all of that was concluded that we got to the Sons of Mayhem.
Right.
In which then we got the repeat of that match, and then we saw that match again twice.
Yep.
And it's just like...
Which, again, sometimes seeing it again is fine. Sons of Mayhem and Purple Haze.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing them fight all the time. Like, if they were the only two tag teams and they were going back and forth for the titles, it's fine. Like I said, I think the Lost Boys and Purple Haze are going to have a very solid put-together match, and it's going to be very good. It's just where we go from there with it. What?
We're dead.
I know we are.
Yeah.
Because you had to mention his name, and now we're dead.
What? No, you did it first. Because you were asked what miracle Tommy performed, and you had to say those words.
He had help. It wasn't a full-on miracle.
But, yeah. But no, it's like, honestly, and I agree with you on the Purple Haze thing, but there hasn't been a whole lot of, I don't know. I'm rambling. But I'm looking forward to this match.
Yes.
I'm glad to see this one.
It's going to be good.
I don't know where it's going to go. And I'm, I don't think it'll kill Purple Haze. I don't think it'll kill Purple Haze if they lose this one.
I think depending on how the match is laid out, it won't.
I agree.
But no, it's one of those where it's kind of like you said, or I said earlier, knowing where they're coming from, I don't know how often we'll get them.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where if they lose, we're probably not going to see them for a while, which sucks. If they win, we still may not see them for a while, and that sucks too.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. What is it? That catch-22.
Yeah.
Either way, I know I critique a lot, But the one thing I love about MPX that has always made me come back and go is they've never let me down. Even when I think something sucks, it's turned out good. It's trust the process, and it usually works.
Yeah.
So.
Usually. And then, of course, we've also got the singles match of we're going to see, I don't know if we're going to see a murder or not, but we're going to see a lot of darkness because we're going to have the Death Dealer, Alexander Crowley.
With Lilith,
with
hopefully.
the Mother of Mayhem, Lilith, taking on the Mad Prince.
Hopefully
Tommy
with Hilda.
Prince. Hopefully with Hilda, I
Yes.
agree. And that will be an interesting matchup on its own.
Match
this is
itself
along
would be
the
great.
lines of seeing, like back in the day when we were like, we need to see Wally Darkman versus Magnificent Malico.
Yeah.
And then somebody went and stole that from us.
Yeah. It's going to be very good. It's going to be very, very physical. There's going to be a lot of ow and oh my god and holy shit moments in this, just from their strikes alone. So it's going to be great. I kind of hope, and I don't know Lilith's background, but if her and Hilda interact, I want to see that because I think it'd be good. Because again, also I want to see Hilda wrestle more.
Hashtag let Hilda wrestle.
Exactly. So I'm super excited for this match. I think it's going to be very, very, very physical. And yeah, it's kind of, the whole dark macabre thing that most people love. So
it's like the Brood versus somebody from the Ministry.
yeah, exactly. And then they just join the Ministry.
I enjoy the hell out of Alexander Crowley from after we got to see him at HOT. Same time, I'm looking at Crowley and I'm looking at Lilith.
Oh, okay.
And I'm getting certain vibes.
Yeah.
Certain other. I don't know.
That was a huge critique on Twitter, and people were wrong. But okay.
Oh, there was.
Oh, it was a big thing. Several months. There was several months ago. There was a big thing about that. So.
Oh, okay.
Because people didn't actually just watch them. So.
Yeah.
No, Crowley's good.
I'm getting the vibes. I'm also getting Karrion Kross and Scarlett vibes. But when you have dark badass wrestler and his lovely dark bride type manager, you're going to get that kind of vibe.
Yeah, and it's not a copycat. It's good. So it's going to be great.
No, I wasn't saying he was copying him. And he wasn't copying him anymore.
No, I'm saying that's what Twitter was in an uproar about.
Oh God! I really hope nobody thinks I said that because I don't believe that at all. But that's going to be awesome. And Bug brought up a perfectly good segue into one of the other things we need to talk about because that's going to be the open hostility for MPX. Get your tickets for that now.
Which
it's going to be awesome.
Love that poster. That poster was good.
Yeah. We're going to have to commend the guy who made that poster.
Oh, who would that be?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out in about half an hour or so.
Oh, okay. A
little more. But this Friday, ladies and gents, is Warrior's Call for Legacy Texas Wrestling. And, of course, you are looking at your voices of Legacy Texas Wrestling.
Hey.
Voices, as in we are we're the commentators.
There you
go.
The
commentary.
I'm the voice, goddammit.
We're the voice of Texas Wrestling fans. I'm saying we're the voices of Legacy Texas.
All right.
Along with our bro, Snowman, Tony.
Yes.
Do we have a guest for next week? I don't know.
Pretty sure we do.
We do? Okay. Because if we don't, I'd love to see if we can get Tony down here for that. Because perfect post Legacy. But the matches for this are going to be awesome because like Bug was talking about, we're going to see Crowley twice this week. We're going to get to see him on Saturday. But before that, we're going to get to see him on Friday taking on the Magnificent Malico.
How God, I gotta call a Malico match.
Yep.
I gotta be terrified the whole time
you can just
calling a match.
Watch the monitor the whole time.
I gotta be terrified of Brick. I gotta be terrified of Malico. I'm showing up at. I'm literally showing up at 7:30 and just sitting down. I ain't hanging out or going to back with anyone. Fuck that. I may not make it. They're gonna kill me.
That's why you sit on the outside, where the more protection.
That man would find a way to get me, and both of them would. One's a fucking clown that's gonna just teleport fucking behind me.
I was gonna say one of them is a clown.
Yeah, and the other one's gonna either just fucking toss you aside or pull me out the other side.
That's true. Yeah, Rick wants to kill us both, but we'll get to that match later. But the match between Magnificent Malico and Alexander Crowley, I'm looking forward to this.
Yes,
because it is. It's like just the styles alone.
I was going to say the styles and the character work they're going to do is going to be phenomenal. And then you get the actual match, which they're both phenomenal, good wrestlers. And this is another one that, to my knowledge, first time happening. Something that fans have wanted, something these two have wanted, and it's a first at Legacy. Legacy has done a lot of firsts in their very young career. They were the first one to give us Sky versus Mercer, which has been done 7 or 8 times now. And it's always good. So
it's Carl Knight's a trendsetter. You know, we'll probably see Magnificent Malaco versus Alexander Crowley all over the place because they like.
Of course. So yes, it's going to be.
Not about to get us canceled.
It's going to be a good what?
Nothing.
Okay, it's going to be a very solid match. Like I said, the character work alone is selling it, but then when people actually see what they can do in the ring, it's just going to exceed that.
Yes, and I'm actually very glad we got to see Alexander Crowley at HOT first because we're going to be able to go in there with,
I haven't seen him before, but yeah. I know you haven't, but I had seen him before, so yeah.
It's like, well, that means that we're both going to be able to go with knowledge of Alexander Crowley and his capabilities. That's going to make calling this match much more of a joy and a lot easier.
Yeah.
Then we've got a fatal 4-way as Emilio Guzman, Dill Dempsey, Christopher Watson, and Avon Axel will be going...
The 4 corners of Texas, sir.
4 corners.
Remember?
Sorry, I'm going off the format sheet. That didn't get written down. Sorry.
I love that name because it is. It's, it's northeast, south, and west. It's awesome.
But the only one of them I'm not familiar with is Christopher Watson.
Yeah.
But I am putting my faith in Carl.
Oh, yeah.
So this is going to be good.
No, it's one of those I enjoy seeing new talents because I like wrestling and I like seeing new people. I am a huge fan of Dill Dempsey.
Yeah.
I've seen him a couple times in San Antonio. Loved everything I saw from him. This match is going to be... This is probably going to be our fast-paced match, and it's going to be chaotic, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. And even Avon Axel's pretty sure that he's going to die.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that seems to be what happens at Legacy. Him and Carl made amends, though, so he shouldn't be pissed off at him anymore.
Yeah. Well, but then again, also speaking of people dying, I mean, we had a card subject to change moment. As,
someone died?
I think someone was trying to avoid dying.
Oh. That was kind of like the segue. You're like, someone died. There's a replacement. Card subject change. Like, what the fuck?
Okay. Franco D'Angelo is one of the guys in this match.
Okay.
So Corey O'Neill, not wanting to die.
Oh no, R.I.P. Corey.
Not wanting to die, stepped out.
Okay.
And we're gonna have Game Time LC Mox.
Okay.
Taking him on instead. It's going to be a house fight.
It is still going to be a house fight. It's going to be amazing.
Are in place in this match,
I'm
which means
super excited for the house fights. I'm worried about your friend though.
Yeah.
Franco and Tradition, they have a bone to pick with Carl.
Oh yeah, especially John.
Well, yeah, and
see that?
And rightfully so. I mean,
Well, okay, they kind of took advantage of what
Carl brought them in, said do this. They did what they said they were going to do and what they were allowed to do, but apparently it went too far. You knew what you were getting into when you had Tradition.
You know when it went too far? When they put hands on Carl's kid.
Carl's kid shouldn't have been out there.
He's a ref.
Okay. Yes. Okay. But again, you knew what you were getting into when you brought in Tradition. You know Tradition's history.
We'll see. But that alone is going to be that's going to be kind of painful to watch.
It's going to be big, meaty men slapping meat. It's going to be great.
But speaking of like destruction, death, and everything like that, we've got 2 tag team matches.
Yes.
In this show, which of course makes us both very happy.
Oh, of course.
We've got the Innocents, Brick Savage, not Big Damo. God damn it. Damo McCullough.
Now Texas Damo hates you.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
God.
Hey, I'm not.
I'm still cool though, right, Damo? Yes, the Innocents, Brick and Damo, who I'm sure people have seen the highlights before. They went to war with Fitz and Brent, which I was there.
Savaged the Texecutioners.
And that was amazing to see those 4 giant men just beat the fuck out of each other. This, I don't think it's going to be any different. Brick and Damo are going to come out and they're going to... they're going to control their narrative. Get it?
Yeah, because they are taking on Subject to Death. A couple of guys from Control Your Narrative.
Which I'm excited to see. I've seen clips. I've heard things. It's just you're going against Brick and Damo. It's not going to end well for y'all.
I mean, it's like having Brick go up against anybody that's going to cause controversy. People are going to get hurt because that's just what Brick does.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a very, very good match.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Going to absolutely love it. Did you get a message?
I don't know.
Okay. No, it was just... No, you suddenly just changed your entire demeanor. I'm like, oh, God. He's going to kill us, isn't he?
No.
We're dead.
Brick's already killing us. I'm not going to... I don't want further death.
Brick says, say it, Kyle.
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm saying, okay... The controversy you're alluding to is so blown out of proportion when it was fine. Like, I hate that Brick got so much heat for that shit. Like, that was ridiculous. It's Chris Carter. No one gives a fuck if he dies anyways.
Okay, no. You don't give a fuck if he dies. Marcus doesn't give a fuck if he dies.
He was fine.
Brick wouldn't give a fuck if he died because, it's like if he dies, he dies.
Exactly.
But...
It's fine.
There are other people who actually appreciate. No,
Jim Cornette doesn't appreciate shit.
Shit. They have positive feelings towards Chris Carter.
Despite what many people think, I love Brick Savage. And so, yes, I am excited for this match. One, because it's tag team wrestling. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to see the Innocents more. I've only seen them once, and the once I saw them, wasn't even really a match. They literally, all four men just beat the shit out of each other and the match got thrown out, which was fun. It was exciting. I want to see an actual tag match, and that's what I'm excited for this. And plus, I get to call it. I'm excited to see Subject to Death because I've seen clips. I've heard the names. We've heard an interesting backstory on Cade, I believe. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for this match.
Yeah, no, I am looking forward to this one. The other tag match, though, is going to be a little lighter. Fair, as we're going to have Horsepower, the Concrete Cowboy, Power Fighter, Eddie Martinez, Nate Collins, taking on The Noise, the Rockstar Rook Tyler, and Max Volume Max Beckett. And I'm looking forward to this one. I mean, we don't have an official Young Lions match this time.
We don't.
But this one could almost qualify, in my opinion.
Almost.
That's my opinion, Carl. Don't.
Yeah, almost just because Nate is 4 years in?
He's the veteran of the team.
And
the match.
Yeah. First time, The Noise is teaming together, so it is going to be exciting. It's going to be, like I said, the Fatal 4-Way is going to be fast-paced. This one will be too. I'm also excited to see Rook more. I've only seen him 2 or 3 times, so this match is going to be good. And again, it's tag matches. I love tag matches.
But looking forward to see where this goes. But there's also, there's going to be some consequences for the tag team division of Legacy Texas Wrestling with another match, as we're going to have Ocho Camacho of the United Familia Camacho taking on Gabe Wilder of the Children of Scorn.
Boys.
I think
different universe.
I don't know.
But yeah, either way, we saw last time, the boys defending the titles, winning in that amazing street fight. I think it was Puerto Rican street fight actually, but this street fight was very good. They beat Angel and Ocho. They beat Angel. They had to get helped up. I mean, maybe Brixton helped a little, but
just bad. But that's the thing. All the rest of the Camachos, all the rest of the boys, they're not allowed at the ringside.
What about Hilda?
They're not even allowed in the building.
What about Hilda and Emmy?
I think that includes them.
Wow.
Although we should get a Hilda versus Emmy match.
Hashtag book it, Carl. I hashtagged it, sure, right?
Yep.
But that's the thing, like you said, that stipulation. Whoever wins, they get into the tag title tournament. All family members are out on the outside. They're not allowed in the building. They cannot interfere in this match. There essentially has to be a winner. This is going to be amazing because we've seen... I mean, granted, it was the tag and there was chaos, but we've seen these two men go at each other, and they go at each other.
Yep.
Like, this is no love lost. So this is going to be very physical, very hard-hitting, and it also means something. They're both fighting for the right for their team to be in a tag team tournament. So it's going to be great.
I'm really looking forward to this one, and, of course, I'm also looking forward to a tag team tournament next year. That alone, I mean... depending on if he decides he wants to bring Brick and Damo back after they absolutely destroy
Subject to Death.
Sorry, it's easier to not have to mourn for them if I don't remember who they are.
Nice cover. I feel if you look at the tag team tournament, that it is happening, but we're also hypothesizing what happens in it or who's in it. I think you would, and knowing Carl, he's looking at the best tag teams in Texas.
Oh yeah,
the Innocent are making their name and case to be one of those, so I don't see how they could not be in it. I also like the idea, though, that we have qualifiers.
Yes.
I do like that. So if it's something that...
Well, of course, there's that one team that thinks they don't need a qualifier. They should just be handed the belt or at least put into the finals of it.
It's tradition.
No.
Oh, I thought they were the ones bitching about that.
They were saying on our show.
Yeah, well, that's the Suns, though. That's the cocky little attitudes. They'll grow out of it.
Will they, though?
One of them might.
I mean, with the influence they have right now.
Guess which one I'm thinking about. Which one? Which one's going to grow out of it?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think I like the idea of qualifiers, even if it's... Yes, I would love the tag title tournament to be the next show, but I would much rather have that, say, March or April, and we get qualifiers leading up to that. That's what I would really dream of happening.
It's going to be just my luck. It's going to start in March, and that's going to be the day that my son is born. So I'm going to be like, shit, should I even be here? Of course, I'm going to get yelled at, yes, you should, but, we'll see. But, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Legacy Texas this Friday. Get your tickets. Show up. Come watch the show. We're going to be the commentary team. Thank you, Adam Chavez.
Yes.
Thank you for sponsoring, the voices of Legacy Texas.
Doesn't sound good when you do it.
It doesn't.
Just doesn't.
Well, you're so used to being just the voice.
Because I am just the voice. Yes. Thank you so much, Adam. Definitely a big supporter of MPX. I mean, It was us, Tony, Gabe. So yeah, that's what we love to see. MPX, we've said it before, the addicts are our family. So love it.
But also, if you do happen to come, remember, they're having a Christmas toy drive for Legacy Texas. Bring an unwrapped toy, clothes, gift cards, things like that, and you will get discounted tickets to the next show.
Legacy is always fun, with everything they do around. Last time, I believe, there was raffles for like peanut butter jars and stuff. So...
Lily bought one of those, and I took a bite, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah. So, and again, it's supporting good local Texas independent wrestling. It's kind of a thing. If MPX is allowing and open enough to use their building for another promotion, check that promotion out.
Definitely.
Because it's MPX obviously trusting them to do it and run it.
Yep.
And Legacy, I mean, we've been to them and we've worked them. They're good shows. They're solid. They're fun. They're entertaining. Every addict definitely should be there. It's Friday night. What else are you doing? You're doing nothing.
But speaking of things that, we talked about how there's going to be 3 shows this weekend. 2 of them are going to be at, most definitely, of course, it's going to be Legacy and MPX. Might as well just not even leave the building.
No, you really shouldn't. Just have a lock-in at the MPX Event Center.
Yeah, there we go.
Just like in high school.
I'm sure Palmer and Ernie will love that idea.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, but Heart of Texas Wrestling is going to have the Bulldog Beatdown in Marlin, Texas. May or may not be able to make that, to be perfectly honest.
I don't know. I'm hoping I can.
The real world is not kind to long-distance travel like that. I mean,
I was going to say, my real world is if I go, that means I'm not getting back at 2. I get up at 5. Yeah, that math doesn't really compute.
I had to put my van back in the shop, so.
Yeah.
So, but... We're going to have there's going to be some really awesome matches there alone. I mean, we're going to see Jet Lion again, and of course his brother Tyler's going to be there too.
Tyler Jesser?
Tyler Jet's going to be there, yeah. But
the Jet Lion, I actually have to go now. Damn it, Tyler Jet! Why do I like you so much?
Jet Lion versus Michael Schaefer, the leading man.
What did Jet Lion do to piss off hot management?
I don't know.
First he dies against Sky. Now he's dying against Schaefer. Man.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I wonder if Schaefer's going to get cheered at this one as well.
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
He's not only the leading man; he's going to be the hero of the story.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll say that. But Tyler Jett, like I said, the party Viking himself is going to be there. He's going to be taking on Dill Dempsey.
Nice.
Yeah.
So far you're selling me.
Yeah, I know, right?
Keep going. What you got?
Let's see. Stevie Hendricks will be there.
Okay.
He's going to be taking on Kane Carter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good.
Yeah.
That'll be a very solid match.
The Anarchy televised championship match.
The main event.
Brick Savage versus JD Griffey.
Yep, selling me.
Uh-huh.
That match is going to be amazing.
Then we're going to see Guns N' Roses versus Tatum and a mystery partner. Might be the same mystery partner from Saturday.
Yeah.
We can hope.
Okay, maybe.
If it happens to be one of the ones we're hoping for, then damn it.
Well,
we'll figure
guess
something
what?
out.
Kirby ain't making that drive. So, sorry, guys.
And of course, they'll also be taking on more dance.
Yeah, you lost me.
Yeah.
Because I remember the poster now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a celebration of someone.
But it's going to be for the HOT Tag Team Championship. So maybe Guns N' Roses or Tatum and, Okay, I'm just going to say it. I'm hoping it's Sagan Manning.
Yeah, we all do.
I want Sagan Manning back, even for just a little bit, and having them be the HOT tag champions would be so very awesome. Sorry, I just had to say it.
Yeah. It's an expensive flight.
Yeah. And then Pac Ortega
Okay.
will be taking on Dan the Man.
I love Dan. Dan's entertaining as fuck.
Yeah. It's like the first time I got to see him was in Mastico's promo battle during the lockdown and everything, which I really kind of wish I'd gotten involved in, but I don't know. But he was really fun.
Yes.
I enjoy him. He was supposed to come to MPX at one point, but couldn't make it for some reason.
Right.
But I will. This match, it's going to be entertaining if nothing else.
Yes, it will be. Dan always is entertaining whenever he's in there, either if he's just talking or if he's in a match. Dan is solid. Dan's good.
Yeah. But that is the lineup for that one, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to 90% of that.
Yeah, really is a solid card. Very good.
I mean, I was like, if I'm going to be fair, 95% of it because of Guns N' Roses and Tatum and whoever his partner is.
Right. To me, one of the biggest selling points, I mean, personally, yes, Tyler Jett coming back.
Yeah.
That's the big selling point. But the other one is, man, Brick and Jerome for the TV Anarchy Television Championship that Brick has. That's going to be a good match.
Oh, that alone is going to sell tickets. So, Marlin, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, go.
About 2 hours. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, if you go down to ACW Come and Take It Live,
right.
This is
that's
going to be
farther. So yeah.
So either way, we got to get ready for our next show, ladies and gentlemen. So get your tickets for that. Get your tickets for Legacy, please. We want to see you there, guys. And get your tickets for MPX this Saturday. Make sure you get the upgrade if you don't already have your season pass for the pre-show match, because that's going to be pretty sick.
Yep.
Keep it kayfabe, ladies and gents.
See you all Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday.
Mark out.